So the movie I wanted to talk about is called My Backseat in the Row of Life. And the good thing about this movie is there's only really one actor in it, and it's Don Cheadle. Don Cheadle, he really portrayed what it feels like to be in the back row of life. Just a passenger coasting along, taking it as it comes, giving it how you can. And I felt it. It was a sad tale about a boy's father really just going to the store and never coming back. And how does one take that tragedy and apply it to a positive outlook on life? You know, having seen this, it brought real emotions to me. You know, it touched me in that place that nobody wants to be touched. But the scene that made it great is when he cried in the bathtub because he realized that his dog had ran away. And that was like the last straw that broke the camel's back and let him know that, in fact, he wasn't driving. He was in the back seat. He was being taken on a ride. His dog was gone. His dog was never coming back. And he sat in a tub. He cried. He just cried. You know, haven't you cried before? It made me cry. And I don't cry. I cried. Man, it was like 15 minutes of just crying. I was like, anyone that can cry for 15 minutes straight is an actor. Thank you, Don Cheadle.
Alright, so the number 2 movie I'm going to talk about is Dragon Breath. Now, when I saw the trailer for this at first, I was like, another Melissa McCarthy movie, and I didn't really want to see it, but, you know, like how Benedict Cumberbatch plays Smaug in The Hobbit, Melissa McCarthy plays like a perfect dragon, and the fire she breathes and everything, like, she actually, like, gargled Listerine and actually, like, lit a match and blew fire, and, like, I don't really like her that much, but, you know, that's dedication. And, you know, there's the part where she runs all out of fire, and, you know, it's you know, the 3D animation. She's running after Ben Stiller, and she's like, I'm gonna blow you, you know, and so she tries to blow him, but she's all out of fire, and he turns around, and he lifts up his, you know, his foxtail, and he does that thing he keeps doing in the movie. He twists it, twirls his foxtail, and he's like, no, you're not gonna blow me, I'm gonna blow you, because he's like the big bad wolf in, you know, later in his life. And he tries to blow at her, and they're just this one scene with this wolf and this dragon are like, whoo, whoo, whoo. And it's just a really funny, silly scene, until the part where, like, she suddenly realizes, like, the specialness has always been inside of her, and she just burns him to a crisp. Really funny movie. You should take your kids to see it. Dragon Breath. Melissa McCarthy, pretty good job.
A movie that I really want to talk about. I'm very passionate about this movie. It was starring Jack Black, Jack Robinson, and Al Pacino. Now, Jack Robinson, you might not know who he is, but he is a very new upcomer. And, like, he just started in movies yesterday. It was directed by Martin Scorsese, and the way I can only introduce this movie is The Man in the Wax Vest. Wow. The title alone. Alright, I'll just give you the synopsis of the movie. It's about this guy who, he's more like a tailor, you know what I'm saying? He makes real upscale suits, but he's like, you know, I'm being consumed by the greed and the power of money, and I want to give it all away. I'm going to start at the bare minimum, the basics, right? Al Pacino, he was making just real upscale suits for all these mobsters, but the things that these people were doing in the suits that he was making, it affected his life. It started corrupting his morals, and he said, you know, I need to cleanse. So he started making wax vests. Vests made of wax. And the way Scorsese really portrayed this story, it was like gritty and grimy, but still upscale. You know, it was like Gotham City and then upscale New York. You know, I was like, wow, it's so bright and vibrant. But then when they're showing the Italian mobsters doing all these terrible things in these really nice suits, it was just a conflict of interest. It was a contrast. It was very diverse. You know, we had Shaquille O'Neal make a surprise appearance in this movie, and I wasn't surprised that he was the first one to wear a wax vest because I really couldn't see him wearing anything upscale. But you know, the scene that really affected the whole movie for the better was when Al Pacino was like, "These suits I will make no more. These suits I will make no more."
After that, you'll never see me or hear from me again.
I was like, powerful words from a powerful man. The man who made wax vests. Everyone should see it.
So the movie I'm going to talk about is called 2013's These Shoes Are Walking. It has David Fincher, the director, who did Seven and he did Fight Club. It's really interesting because he can take something simple like a pair of shoes and show you kind of the life of a pair of shoes. Someone who's kind of come up in the world like a teenager, and I think it was played by Rooney Mara, and she wore the shoes and then like somehow she gives them up or she loses them. Her mom like gives them away, and so like Amy Adams picks them up in a like the used bin at a used clothing store, and so she wears them through her part of life. And then it just shows how, in a way, like the shoes you use in your life, you have them with you, then you get rid of them, but there's things in our life that kind of see us, like when people say like if these walls could talk. For David Fincher to somehow make those shoes like really creepy, the way he does, the way he makes things look kind of scary and creepy, but they're just shoes. And like the actresses, they don't notice it, but the shoes like detest each of those women for the way they live their lives and the way they live. And then there's the scene at the end when Emma Thompson just like gives up her shoes and she just throws them out of the car window because like she's an old woman, but she's free and she doesn't need these shoes anymore. It's really great. She walks off into the field that earlier someone broke some glass bottles in there, so there's the thing like, is she gonna walk through the glass bottles and cut her feet on the glass? And it cuts away like Inception. It cuts away right before she walks through the fields, and you don't know. The life through the eyes of shoes, through the tongue of shoes. It was very interesting to see David Fincher do that kind of film. Very good.